Hey guys, the Brise is back, and we are 4 days away from Super Bowl 59. It's the rematch from Super Bowl 57. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. It should be an interesting one. Obviously, last week when I said that this one I'm not really too excited about, but it's probably going to break record in terms of viewing, and millions are going to watch around the world. I even heard that some companies are paying like $8 million for a 30-second commercial spot, which is insane, right? But that's business as usual for the NFL. But yeah, Super Bowl 59 this Sunday, Fox, they're broadcasting it, so you're going to hear Tom Brady commentating that one. 6:30 is the kickoff. It's probably going to go till like 11 o'clock because obviously you got all these commercials. You got the halftime show, which Kendrick Lamar is going to be the halftime performer this year, so that's very exciting. I am a fan of his. I enjoy his music. He's a good performer, so you have that going on. But yeah, the Chiefs and the Eagles rematch from a couple years ago, Super Bowl 57. The Chiefs won that one, if you guys remember, 38-35. The MVP obviously was Patrick Mahomes. But then also in that game, the Kansas City Chiefs overcame a 10-point deficit at halftime. I mean, the Eagles had them in their grasp. All they needed to do was play a whole other half of football, and they blew it. I mean, you can't let Kansas City, we've seen this for many years now since Patrick Mahomes has been a starter in the NFL. You cannot give the Chiefs any breathing room. You want to beat the Chiefs, you got to suffocate them. You have to be up 20 points. You have to get after Patrick Mahomes. You can't allow him to make any plays, have any time in the pocket. And that's exactly what happened with the Eagles a couple years ago, and that's why they lost 38-35 in the Super Bowl 57 in Arizona a couple years ago. But yeah, Super Bowl 59, it's going to be in New Orleans, Louisiana. Very interesting place there, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Kansas City, the first team in the Super Bowl era, trying to win a three-peat for the Super Bowl. The 3 straight Super Bowls, first time ever in the Super Bowl era, first time in NFL history. Teams won back-to-back Super Bowls. Kansas City is looking to be the first team to do that. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's possible, right? Kansas City, obviously, we've seen what they did all season long. I mean, a lot of one-score games for this team, and they've won, I think, 16 straight or 17 straight one-score games, which is insane. That just shows the perseverance of this team. So Kansas City, they can make history, being the first team in NFL history to win the Super Bowl 3 straight seasons. So you have that going on. And then, as I mentioned, this Super Bowl is going to be played in New Orleans. So it'll be the 8th time that the Super Bowl has been played at the Superdome, and the 11th time overall in New Orleans. And besides Miami, who's tied with 11 times that the Super Bowl has been played in that area, it's tied for the most Super Bowl games. So New Orleans, the Super Bowl has been played there 11 times. Miami has been the Super Bowl has been played in Miami also 11 times. So New Orleans is a hot spot. It's in a very, it's a big city. Lots of people. They got the New Orleans Saints. They enjoy their football. You're gonna get a lot of people from all over the country. It's the Super Bowl. You're gonna get the celebrities, so it's gonna be star-filled, I guess, or celebrity-filled event like it is every single year. So yeah, you had that going on. So New Orleans hosting the Super Bowl once again for Super Bowl 59. And then the Chiefs, it's their 5th Super Bowl appearance in the last 6 years. Talk about dominance. I mean, dude, it's hard enough to win a game, an NFL regular season game. How they made it to the Super Bowl 5 out of the last 6 years, that's insane. You can say all you want about the Chiefs. I'm not their biggest fan. But to appear in the Super Bowl 5 out of the last 6 seasons, that's insane. That's impressive. I don't care who you are. That's unbelievable. And then it's their 7th. They've appeared in 7 straight AFC Championship games. So as I mentioned many times on this podcast, Patrick Mahomes as a starter has never missed an AFC Championship game. He has always started and appeared in an AFC Championship game. How about that? We can say all we want about Patrick Mahomes, this and that. That's impressive. Like I said, winning the NFL is probably one of the hardest things to do. To appear in the AFC Championship game 7 straight seasons, 7. That's awesome, dude. So you have that going on. And then they're within 1 game from matching not beating, but matching all-time records set by the New England Patriots. They appeared in 7 straight from the 2011 season all the way to the 2018 season. So, like I said, the Patriots, when I was a kid and teenager, the Patriots were the dynasty. They were the best team in the NFL. Now the Chiefs are trying to take over. They've been the dynasty for the past few years. So they matched that record for appearing in the AFC Championship game 7 straight times. Insane. And then now we got to go on the NFC side. The Eagles, they won 3 straight playoff games at home. They beat Green Bay, they beat the Rams, and they absolutely annihilated, absolutely crushed the Washington Commanders. I mean, after watching the divisional round with the Washington Commanders beating the Detroit Lions, absolutely destroying them, you would think they would put up a fight against the Eagles. No. The Eagles handled business. They destroyed them. They embarrassed them on live television. And they've dropped 55 points on the Washington Commanders, who has one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. And why not? Give it to your best player on the field. Who is that, may you ask? Obviously, it's Saquon effing Barkley, my friend. And that's exactly what they did. And he ran for 200-plus yards that game. And hopefully he'll have a performance in the Super Bowl this Sunday. So, a very impressive track for the Eagles, winning 3 straight home games. Obviously the number 1 seed for the Lions. They were supposed to run through Detroit, but obviously they fell apart, like absolute utter collapse by the Detroit Lions. So the Eagles took our place. And to win 3 straight home games in the NFL, playoff games in the NFL, it's not easy. Green Bay, Rams, Washington, all, they're not teams to, ignore. They're pretty good teams. So the Eagles are headed to the Super Bowl again. Andy Reid, a little history lesson for all you people out there. So he spent 14 seasons from 1999 through 2012 as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. Went to 4 straight NFC Championship games, went to the Super Bowl once. Ultimately, they lost to the Patriots back in the 2004 season. But yeah, he spent there for 14 seasons, and then he hopped over to the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's been there ever since. So, and he's done a wonderful job, obviously, the track record, what he's done for Kansas City throughout those years. So you have that going on. And then Nick Sirianni, another history lesson. He started his career in the NFL as a Chiefs assistant from 2009 to 2012, and now he's the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. And now I saw this on CBS.com. So since 2004, I was 8 years old. May I remind you, I'm 28 now. But since 2004, the Patriots have more combined wins, playoff wins, than the Chiefs, who have 18, and the Eagles, who have 14. Crazy. So the Patriots are the only other team to have more combined playoff wins than the Chiefs, who have 18, and then the Eagles, who have 14. So that's insane. Like I said, the dominance shown by the Patriots back in the day. Not so much anymore. Tom Brady's retired. Coach Belichick's not there anymore. That defense was absolutely phenomenal. Wide receivers, a key part of that offense for many years. Tight ends, when you had Robert Gronkowski, tearing it up in the NFL. But that's insane. So the Chiefs and the Eagles, talk about dominance for the past 20 years. They're in it. They'll find a way to be in the playoffs, in the postseason, these two teams. So you have that. And then the last Super Bowl win for the Philadelphia Eagles, it was the first one in franchise history. You have to go all the way back to the 2017 season when they beat the New England Patriots. From Nick Foles. Do you remember Nick Foles? Yeah, you remember that guy. The Philly special. Great play, turning point of the game, whatever you want to call it. It was a special moment for the Super Bowl. But yeah, Nick Foles, he wasn't even the starter that season. It was Carson Wentz, and he was doing a phenomenal job. He was winning games. Possible MVP, and then he tears his ACL. Imagine that, right? Tears his ACL. I do believe it was his second season in the NFL, and having a great season, leading his team to the playoffs, and then boom, he just tears his ACL, and then Nick Foles comes in and wins the Super Bowl reign and the Lombardi Trophy for the Philadelphia Eagles. First one ever in franchise history. That was a great Super Bowl, by the way. It was Super Bowl 52. And the Eagles won that one 41 to 33. Great game. Obviously you kind of saw the downfall after that game of the Patriots dynasty, who dominated the NFL for close to 20 years. and for Nick Foles to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, that was awesome. So yeah, that was the last time the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. And then obviously the Kansas City Chiefs looking to three-peat the Super Bowl. Their last win was obviously last year, Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. They beat the 49ers 25-22, and that was a rematch from a few years ago when they beat the 49ers previously in the Super Bowl. So it seems like the Kansas City Chiefs like to have rematches, and they usually win the rematches in the biggest game of the NFL, right? You know, obviously, like I said, first time they faced the 49ers a few years ago at the Super Bowl, they beat them, and then obviously last year they beat them in Super Bowl 58. And now a couple years ago, the Chiefs beat the Eagles in Super Bowl 57, and now they look to not only beat them again, but to win the Lombardi Trophy 3 straight years. It'll be the first time ever we've seen that. So a lot going on. Lots on the line for the Kansas City Chiefs. Lots on the line for the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see what happens. Excuse me. So you have that going on, and then now we got the betting props, I guess you can say. So the Chiefs are 1 point or 1.5 point favorites in this one, and they will wear the white jerseys because this year the NFC is considered the home team. So the Eagles opted to wear their green, their iconic dark green home jerseys, and now the Kansas City Chiefs will wear their white jerseys since they're the away team. And I checked this up too. This was on CBS.com as well. Teams are 16-4. Let me explain that to you. 16-4 in the last 20 Super Bowl games. That wear the white, that wear the away jerseys. So 16-4 that wear the away white jerseys. They're in the last 20 Super Bowl games. Teams are 16-4 if they wear the away jerseys. Only 2 teams have won the home jerseys and won the Super Bowl. One's the Chiefs, and the other's the Eagles. So, I mean, who am I going to pick to win the Super Bowl? I would love to see the Eagles. I'm not excited about it because the Lions are not in. But, I mean, do we really want to see the Chiefs win back-to-back Super Bowls? Because you know what that's going to be, right? So they win, right? The confetti comes down, they're all going crazy. And then Taylor Swift comes onto the field. Travis Kelce proposes to her in front of millions of people. Nationally broadcasts, televised broadcasts. And then everyone's going to be talking about that instead of the actual game, right? I mean, do we want to see that? I don't. I mean, that's just that's insane to me. This is football. Let's stick to football. You want to talk about singing or acting or being celebrities? That's for another channel. That's for another time. This is the effing Super Bowl, man. I don't care if Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift get engaged. I don't care if Travis Kelce retires. Okay, let's focus on the game. But you know what? That's what's going to happen, right? If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So lots of craziness going on. You got Super Bowl 59. Prop bets. Patrick Mahomes is the favorite to win the Super Bowl MVP, and then right behind him is Saquon Barkley. So I might place a bet on Saquon Barkley just for the heck of it. We'll see what happens with that. But I hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Like I said, I'm not excited about it. I'll be honest, I'm not. But I'm going to still watch it. All these people, boycott this Super Bowl. I'm not going to boycott the damn Super Bowl. I'm a football fan. I'm going to watch it. All right, and then maybe for next year, maybe my Detroit Lions will at least make it to the NFC Championship and then possibly make an appearance in the Super Bowl, first time ever in franchise history. But now we got to focus on this one, the Super Bowl 59, this Sunday, Fox, 6:30 kickoff. Kendrick Lamar is going to be the halftime performance. He's doing a halftime show this year. Kansas City Chiefs looking for their 3rd straight Super Bowl victory. It would be the first team. They would be the first team ever to accomplish this goal, this feature, and then the Eagles looking to win their Super Bowl, the first one since 2017. So now the Bryce has to make his pick. Who does the Bryce pick to win Super Bowl 59? I have to go with the Chiefs. I mean, until someone else can, debate me on that, I think the Chiefs will win. I do believe that Patrick Mahomes will put on a show. I think that defense of the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to be rushing against Jalen Hurts. going to bring pressure to them all night. They have one of the best run defenses in the game. So Saquon Barkley might have trouble running the ball at the Super Bowl, but he's also a beast. We've seen him eclipse, 200 plus yards multiple times in the playoffs. He ran for over 2,000 yards this season. First year with the Eagles after so many horrible, embarrassing, forgetful rather years with the New York Giants, who are god awful. He's gone to a team who is now competing in the Super Bowl. I would love to see him win the Super Bowl. He deserves it. He's one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL right now. It would be great to see him and Jalen Hurts get their first Lombardi trophy, but it's not going to happen. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning their third straight Super Bowl. First time ever in NFL history a team has done that. We're going to see history Sunday night. So I got the Chiefs winning. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. Play some bets. Watch it with your friends and family. Sunday, February 9th, 6:30 on Fox. Yes, you'll be listening to Tom Brady. He's gotten better. Give him a break. Obviously, at first, wasn't terrible. I mean, doing broadcasting, I don't care who you are. That's got to be very tough. That's got to be tough to do. So you have that going on. Watch the Super Bowl, enjoy. But yes, I do have the Chiefs winning this one. I mean, like I said, they wear the white away jerseys, and teams are 16-4 in the last 20 Super Bowl games to wear the away jersey. So it seems like the away team has the upper hand when it comes to these games. And obviously, like I said, the only two teams to wear the home jerseys in the Super Bowl and win were the Chiefs and the Eagles. So crazy, lots of stats for these two teams. But yeah, Super Bowl 59 this Sunday. Check it out. It's going to be a good one. But now we got to hop over to the NHL. Yeah, we got to talk about hockey because we got to talk about these Detroit Red Wings. These Red Wings are absolutely phenomenal right now. Best team in the NHL, not record-wise, but just how they've been playing. They've won 7 straight. Last night they beat the Seattle Kraken on the road, which completed a 4-game sweep, a 4-game road sweep for the Detroit Red Wings. So they won 7 straight. Second time under Todd McLellan. And obviously when he came in on December 26th, he got hired in. Under his leadership now, because we got rid of Uncle Fester, Derek Lalonde, a.k.a. Under Todd McLellan, the team is 15-4-1 since he came in and became the head coach. 15-4-1. I mean, dude, months ago, like November, early December, a lot of us, myself included, thought this Detroit Red Wings team, they're not going anywhere. They suck. They're horrible. They're absolute garbage. Derek Lalonde needs to get the hell out of Detroit. Steve Yzerman needs to do something. And better late than never, but he finally did. And look what happened. You get rid of the coach, and you bring in Todd McLellan, who is a seasoned veteran when it comes to head coaches. He was an assistant for us when we won the Stanley Cup back in 2008. So he knows this franchise. He knows this team. He knows the organization. But 15-4-1 under his leadership. With last night's victory, their 15th win overall under his leadership. I mean, this is a complete different team. I've said it before on the podcast. Night and day, a complete 180. They're playing so much better as a team. So as a result of that 15-4-1 record under Todd McLellan, they have the top wildcard spot as of right now. They have 61 points, which is good enough for the top spot for the wild card. So the season ended today, they would be in the playoffs. But obviously, you got many more games to go. And then Tampa Bay and Boston, to give some perspective, they have 60 points. So 2 good teams. We're above them. We just got to keep playing good hockey. And our next game is Saturday, 1 o'clock on ABC against Tampa Bay. So that'll be a very interesting game for the Detroit Red Wings. But yeah, like I mentioned last night, the Seattle Kraken, we beat them. The Detroit Red Wings beat them 5-4 in the shootout. It took us to a shootout to beat this team. And we had a 2-goal lead going to the third period. So yeah, not really excited about that. But you know what? We were able to come back and win when it mattered most. Shootout victory, we'll take it. It was our seventh straight victory. Second time that's happened under Todd McLellan, but we were up 4-2 at one point, in the third period. That's the time to, end it, and put the nail on the coffin. Like, you got to beat this team. But they blew the lead, the Detroit Red Wings did, but they eventually were able to beat overcome that blown lead and beat the Seattle Kraken in a shootout 5-4 on the road too. So Patrick Kane scored the game winner. And as a result, he has the most shootout goals in NHL history with 53. Damn, 53 shootout goals for Patrick Kane. That's unbelievable. So hats off to him, one of the best to ever play the game. But yeah, most shootout goals in NHL history with 53. He scored the game winner last night. And then for this road trip, he had a 4-game road trip started last Thursday, January 30th, for this Detroit Red Wings team. They went undefeated on the road. Imagine that, right? And then hockey, it's not rare, but it's hard to do. To play hockey in general is hard, but to play on the road away from your home, it's tough. It's really tough. But the Red Wings, no problem for them because they went 4-0 on this road trip, on this 4-game road trip for the Detroit Red Wings. They beat the Edmonton Oilers 3-2 in the shootout. They beat the Calgary Flames 3-1. They beat the Vancouver Canucks 3-2 in the overtime. And then last night we beat the Seattle Kraken 5-4 in a shootout. So what hasn't been always easy, overtimes, a couple of shootouts, but we were able to win. And 7 straight, that's absolutely phenomenal. We have the top spot in the wild card now. This team looks absolutely phenomenal. A complete 180 from what we were seeing earlier in the season with Derek Lalonde, Todd McLellan, bring that grit, that hard work, that hard-nosed hockey, that old school hockey mentality back to Detroit. We are hockey town. So maybe that's some of the messages he sent to his team throughout his time there as the head coach. So you have that. Cam Talbot was the starting goalie in this game. He had 23 saves, and he stopped all 3 shootout attempts from the Seattle Kraken. So he was absolutely phenomenal. Lucas Raymond, this guy is the best player on this team right now. He has 25 points, 8 goals, and 17 assists since Todd McLellan became the head coach on December 27th. This guy, I watched this guy. I watched this kid. This guy's scoring goals. He's assisting. He's all over the ice. He's making plays when it matters. He's unbelievable. He leads the team in points with 58. He has 58 points with the Detroit Red Wings, and he's leading the team with points. So you have that. And then, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the Red Wings won 7 straight earlier this season. From December 29th all the way to January 12th, they've won 7 straight. So second time they've won at least 7 straight in a row under Todd McLellan. And then this is the first time since the 2011-12 season that Detroit has at least won 7 in a row twice during the season. So they're playing great hockey right now. And then you got the younger talent like Elmer Soderblom. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists on a 5-game point streak. So they're playing hockey. He's playing great hockey. Dylan Larkin's been a factor. Alex DeBrincat. Larkin leads the team in goals, 23. So this Detroit Red Wings team, very excited about this team. I really am, because they're making moves, they're making plays. Winning 7 straight, second time this season we've seen a 7-game winning streak happen under Todd McLellan's leadership. They've swept their road games. On the 4-0 on the road trip. Obviously, like I said, starting Edmonton, who's one of the best teams right now in the NHL. Calgary is a good team. Vancouver is a good team as well. Seattle's not the greatest team, but they always play tough against us. Every time I watch the Red Wings and the Seattle Kraken go at it, Seattle brings it to us. So that was a big win last night for the Detroit Red Wings. But yeah, 7-game winning streak, top spot in the wild card. Lucas Raymond playing great hockey. We're all healthy, knock on wood. But I can't complain. They have a 28-21-5 record overall, above 500. They can't get any better than that. And so the Red Wings are off for a while. You got their next game won't be till Saturday. This Saturday, February 8th, at home against Tampa Bay, 1 o'clock ABC. And then their following game won't happen for a couple weeks because we have the All-Star and the All-Star game. And then they have the country games going on, U.S., the USA, Canada, Sweden, I do believe Russia. They have that going on as well. So our next game after Saturday's game won't be till the following Saturday, or 2 Saturdays from now. February 22nd against Minnesota at home, and that'll be a 12:30 game on ABC. So yeah, enjoy while this lasts, man. I mean, this is great. I mean, just keep playing hockey, just keep winning games, stay at the top of the wild card spot. I mean, dude, who would imagine? I mean, let me say this. Who would imagine back in like maybe October, November, early December that we would be a wild card team? Raise your hands. Yeah, nobody. There's no way you would have thought this Detroit Red Wings team, same team, would be in the wild card spot, or the top wild card spot right now as we speak, February 5th, 2025. No one would have thought that a couple months ago. But now we're in the driver's seat. We're ready to go. We're on a roll. 7-game winning streak. Top spot in the wild card. Tom McLellan getting this team back together. Play effing hockey. That's what he said, and it's resonated. This team heard him loud and clear, and they're playing some great hockey right now. So yeah, let's go Red Wings. Keep this streak alive, guys. Win that game Saturday, 1 o'clock on ABC against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's going to be a tough game, but we're playing at home, so that helps us out a little bit, to win all 4 games on the road, to complete that road trip with 4 wins. I'll take that. That's awesome. So very exciting times here for the Red Wings. All you Detroit Red Wings fans, you got to be excited about this. I am as well. I'll be watching that game Saturday because you got a lot going on Saturday. Another sports weekend. Obviously, Super Bowl Sunday is going to be the main event, right? I mean, let's be honest. The Super Bowl Sunday is going to take over most of the sporting aspects or the sports this weekend. But now you have the Red Wings playing at 1 o'clock, but then you got to transfer over all you Fight Night, all you UFC fanatics. We got UFC 312, the second pay-per-view 2025. You got 2 title defenses. You got 2 title fights once again to start off 2025. So you got UFC 312. You got Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland 2, rematch from a while ago. Dricus Du Plessis going up against Sean Strickland. It's for the UFC middleweight title. DDP, as they call him. Du Plessis beat Strickland on January 20th of 2024 to become the middleweight champion, and he won that by split decision. And then he defended the title against Israel Adesanya, who's been struggling lately, who's been on the steep decline. We'll get to him in a little bit, but he defeated Israel Adesanya, who was one of the best, if not the top middleweight fighters in the UFC at one point, and he beat him by submission on August 17th of 2024. That was his first title defense, Dricus Du Plessis. And then Sean Strickland has beat Paulo Costa in his last fight. He won that by split decision. That was on January 1st of 2024. And then he also beat Israel Adesanya in September 2023 to become the middleweight champion. He absolutely dominated that fight. I'm sure all you UFC fans remember that one. It was really kind of the first time you saw Izzy get pummeled and get outclassed in any fight that he's been in. And that's the connection these two have. Both of these guys competing for the middleweight championship. Dricus Du Plessis, the middleweight champion. Sean Strickland, the challenger. They've both defeated Israel Adesanya, who's one of the greatest fighters of all time, one of the great middleweights ever to compete in the UFC. And that's where we get into Israel Adesanya real quick. So he's 4-5 since 2021. And then from 2012 all the way to 2020, he was 20-0. He was undefeated. And I guess people can say, yeah, maybe he should have never fought Jan Blachowicz, move up to light heavyweight. That was kind of stupid of him. Just stay in middleweight and defend your title. Sure. I mean, kind of started his downfall. I mean, 4-5, yeah, it's a losing record, but he's lost 3 straight. He just got knocked out last weekend, on a fight night, not even a pay-per-view. Israel Adesanya-less pay-per-view. No, this was just a regular fight night, and he got knocked down early in the second round. So he's on a 3-fight losing streak, and he had, when he was dominant for 8 years, 2012 to 2020, he had 6 successful title defenses. I mean, he was dominant. He was awesome. But now you're starting to see the steep decline of Israel Adesanya. He's 35 years old. When you're pushing, you're close to 40 years old, your body can't handle it no more. Sparring, training, getting ready for these fights, it takes a toll on the body. It has to. So I think we're starting to see that Israel Adesanya is human and that Father Time is undefeated. And we're seeing this right now. It's very unfortunate because he is one of the greatest fighters of all time. But, losing 3 straight in a row, and, you lost to Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland, 2 guys who are fighting for the middleweight title this weekend in Sydney, Australia, by the way. It's tough. It's tough to see that. But, it is what it is. You got to move on. So, you got Dricus Du Plessis defending the middleweight title against Sean Strickland, their rematch from last January, in January 2024. It's going to be an interesting fight. But you know what? I got the champion win this one. I like the champion. I think he's gonna give Sean Strickland a hard time in this one. So you got that, and then the co-main event, you got another title fight. You got the women's strawweight title on the line. It's the co-main event. You got Zane Wiley, the champion, defending her title against Tatiana Suarez, who is undefeated, by the way. And then Zane Wiley, she's a strawweight champion. She's on a 4-fight winning streak. She's dominant. She's kicking ass all over the place. And then Tatiana Suarez is undefeated, 11-0. Her last fight was a submission win against Jessica Andrade, one of the best strawweights of all time. She's undefeated. So who's going to win this one, the champion or Tatiana Suarez, the undefeated challenger? I'm going to go with the American. I got Tatiana Suarez. I think that undefeated streak is going to continue. She's going to be 12-0, and she's going to be the new women's strawweight champion. So you have that going on. 2 title fights this weekend. So not only do you have that, you got the Red Wings on, you got Super Bowl Sunday. So yeah, lots of opportunities to place your bets and watch all these events with your friends and family. Should be an action-packed weekend in terms of sports. You got college basketball going on right now as well. Craziness going on there. Obviously, other hockey games. Some boxing fights coming up next couple of weeks. Just trying to see if there's anyone else on this card I'm familiar with. I'm not, actually. So, yeah, two title fights once again. You got the middleweight championship on the line in the main event, and then you got the co-main event, the women's strawweight championship on the line. UFC 312 this Saturday, 10 p.m. The main card starts. Sydney, Australia. Second pay-per-view of 2025 for the UFC. So you got UFC, you got hockey, you got Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy this one. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining me on Guys Time with the Bryce. So you already know the drill. My YouTube channel at Guys Time with the Bryce. Give a shout out. Subscribe to my channel. The audio version of this episode is going to be available wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Just look up Guys Time with the Bryce, and you'll be able to find this episode. But yeah, we covered a lot. Super Bowl 59 this Sunday, 6:30 on Fox. You got the Red Wings playing Saturday, 1 p.m. against Tampa Bay Lightning on ABC. You got UFC 312. You got 2 title fights on the line. Main card starts at 10 p.m. ESPN Plus. Watch it. It's going to be awesome. Play some bets. Have fun. Spend time with your friends and family. And as always, my friends, stay safe. Have a great rest of the day. It's Wednesday. Super Bowl 59 right around the corner. All right, but guys, you have a great rest of your day. The Bryce is out, and stay safe out there.